Yes. Is that in the white shirt?
Oh, no, I did not.
Oh, you did the thing? Okay. Do we have any other, just a clarifying question?
This might not seem like it directly relates, but I just was wondering what's the overall plan with these buildings? Like, I mean, I know this isn't a ton of money to throw in there, but I don't even know who's staying there or anything like that. Are all the people staying there directly involved with Occupy still? Like, I know Eric is.
Yeah, okay,
because I just don't want to be throwing our resources out to to anyone that's not directly.
Okay, I'll tell you who's staying there.
No.
One of this.
We're just one at a time.
All right.
So,
I can tell you who's staying there.
Hold on 1 second. I want to give you a little bit more time. At this point, we're out of time for this proposal. However, if you guys want to give us, say, another 3 minutes, I guess let me see if everybody's in consensus of giving 3 more minutes.
Thank you. Can I answer that question real quick? I'm going to be very specific. At first, we had 8 people. The thing is, the conditions are so bad that these people are bailing out. So that's why we're trying to make these conditions a lot better so people will actually stay there. Okay? What we have left is like, out of the 5 properties that's total maybe about 7 people that's from Occupy. The rest, they're from Dr. Bob's. Okay, over there on Golden Gate. They're the ones that actually show the properties that were available for the squats. So, but if we don't upgrade the situation, everybody's going to leave. That's why we need the money, brother. So we can actually attract people.
Yeah.
And it's actually a nice house. The White House is a nice house. It's got 4 bedrooms, and it's actually livable. So, yes.
How involved is Dr. Bob with these houses? Are these Occupy's houses?
No, they're occupied. They're all occupied houses. The 4 houses we're working on.
I've known Dr. Bob for a while. He has taken houses from a lot of people.
No, but he's not taking these houses. These are all occupied houses.
Okay,
all on that side of the street. 4 houses. Yeah.
Just to remind everyone, we do have a stack. So I know you might have something you really want to say, but we have 2 people on stack, and we have right over here first, and then in the green shirt in the back is 2. And if you want to get on stack, our stack is back.
Nice hair.
And point of information, I forgot 2 very important hand signs on the slacking. This means respect, so if people are talking, there's not showing respect, throw one of these up. And then the equal sign, we're all equal here though. We do the horizontal structure, we're all the same, so if one people keep talking, they might think they're more important than us. We just say, hey, we're all here together, we're all the same, and my apologies for slacking on the hand signs there.
Hey, just to quickly respond to Dr. I understand about Dr. Bob and how he is, but he has been instrumental so far. He's letting us run a line from his outside of his house thus far. That's why we needed the generator, and the battery pack and everything, so we can be totally self-sufficient.
We're not dependent on the weather.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what we do.
We got a couple of, actually we have a couple of points of
process.
Process right
We
here.
need to stick to the proposal and make sure everything is.
My clarifying question is that is there someplace other than Home Depot, perhaps someplace in Detroit that we can rent a generator from? So
No, we already got the generator.
For businesses or for the fuel or whatever.
I mean, listen, we already got the generator.
But for the other stuff, the $100 gift card.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't matter anywhere you would like. I tell you what, even closer would be the one hardware store we went to.
Detroit Hardware.
Ace.
Yeah, Detroit Hardware is an Ace.
No, the closest one to us is Oakland.
6 Mile in Oakland.
6 Mile in Oakland is Ace Hardware.
We want to do an independent one, that's what we're saying. That's Detroit.
Aces are in.
It doesn't matter. I want the cheapest price.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Where you like.
Limit side conversations and respect the person on stack as well as
And any gas card you want, any gas company you like to use.
Okay, right now we're at time, everyone. I don't know if we want to offer more time towards this.
Temperature check.
Well, let me do a temperature check on moving to consensus at this point for this proposal.
That's because I'm just recording it. This is not a stream.
Friendly amendment.
And I can give it to you, and then you can do whatever you want with it.
I mean, we're out of time, so we have to ask for time. I would propose.
So can we do a temperature check for 2 more minutes?
1 minute.
Everyone come about give 2 more minutes so we can do this.
So We're gonna do 2 more minutes with the stack closed at this
For a friendly amendment, I would like to amend the proposal that you go with a locally owned business and not a corporation for any purchases that you would make in furthering the endeavor of making these houses livable.
Fine. That'd be fine so long as they offer one of them prepaid cards. Fine.
If stack is closed, it's fine.
Okay. Do we have anyone left?
Yeah, you do.
Okay. Well, I guess at this point, we want to do a temperature check for consensus to this proposal. Okay. Is there anyone that's not feeling too good about this proposal that wants to maybe step aside and allow everyone else to?
That's the next thing. Step aside.
The first one, do we have any people that don't feel too good about this? Any people that want to stand aside, not feeling good about this at all, but they're willing others to participate? Do we have any blocks, any moral or ethical concerns? Do we have consensus?
Woo!
All right. So we got $50 gift card. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
All right, where is Nicole? Is that okay?
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Okay, just to give you an update, we have gone through a ton of proposals and we've built consensus around all of them, so we're doing an awesome job. Pat yourself on the back, stretch it out if you need to. We're moving through them, they're up on the board so you can keep track of where we're at. But you should be feeling good right now. We're doing a good job.
Meeting.
Are we at 5? Oh, Nicole #1. Okay. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
All right. If we could have those who are having side conversations use the side and maybe even
Go in the other room.
go in the other room, right? We need everyone's attention for these proposals. That'll really make sure we understand what we are consenting around. So, the proposal is going to be stated.
Okay. Hey, Sean, can you take it outside if you're talking?
Okay. I propose the decisions of the GA be binding upon the work groups and all other individuals and groups working in their capacity as part of Occupy Detroit. Yep. I propose that the decisions of the GA be binding upon the work groups and all other individuals and groups when working in their capacity as part of Occupy Detroit.
All right, so we're going to start off with points of information. And if you want to get on stack for these, remember your eyes should make eye contact with Jerry. So I see one point of information, but stack is going to call.
Okay, first we have Sarah.
So she has a point of information which goes first.
I'll take that. Let me see your hands for points of information.
Okay. Point of information then, I think this is really good to get out there because I think we've had some issues with that. But that's already how this works. What the GA makes, like when the GA consensus on something, the work groups are beholden to the GA already. That's how this whole thing. I know in practice it hasn't been working like that, which is a big issue, which is why I'm glad that it's being brought up right here. But this isn't something that, unless people want to undo this, and I think that would be a different proposal. I don't personally think that this is something that if this doesn't pass, it doesn't mean the GA work groups aren't still beholden to the GA and to the body as a whole. So.
All right, do we have any other points of information? Points of information. Nope. Okay, let's move on to clarifying questions. Wow, a lot of C's coming out.
So my question, I guess, my understanding of the way that things work is that if you want to speak on behalf of Occupy Detroit, or if you want to act on behalf of Occupy Detroit, that you bring that to the General Assembly to be consensus on. And I guess it was a clarifying question of how is this different. And my concern concern is that we are establishing an authoritarian structure that is going to dictate to people what they can and can't do. And so I guess that's also part of a clarifying question is like, what is the spirit of this? How is it different than what already exists? And how is it not leaning towards authoritarianism? So that's my question.
Yeah, no, absolutely. My intent certainly is that the.
And if you can respond to everyone.
Yes, absolutely.
And loudly.
Absolutely. The intent here is that when you're when representing yourself as speaking on behalf of Occupy Detroit, that you are doing so in conjunction with the directives of the GA. For example, if the GA has voted has reached consensus in favor of something, then I think that that's something that it's reasonable to be able to represent something in that direction. However, if the GA has said no, we're going to, if something's been blocked, then I think then a group or an individual would not be able to represent would not be able to. I'm not speaking properly. I'm so sorry. I'm losing words.
Okay. No, we got you.
Wouldn't be speaking on behalf of the GA or on behalf of Occupy Detroit in representing in requesting something along the lines of the blocked proposal.
All right, so we're going to keep moving on with clarifying.
First we have Joe.
I'll pass.
Okay. Yeah.
Craig.
You have one. I think she has.
But they could individually. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to.
Okay, my question is, how are we going to dictate who is a part of Occupy Detroit and who's not? I don't think you can put a label on who's here. We're all Occupy Detroit. Just saying.
I think it's when
it's
how you.
It's unified.
Is that?
We're all one. We're all Occupy Detroit. We're all here.
So it's
how you represent yourself at any given time. I mean, when you're at your job, you're representing your job. When you're speaking for yourself, you're speaking for yourself. It's how you.
I think we're stepping away from the system.
If we could, this is a clarifying question. So there should be like an uptone in your voice at the end of it. Just for a question, you know?
It's like in Jeopardy. Please phrase it as a question.
So my clarifying question is, in a leaderless movement, horizontal movement, if you're here as a part of Occupy Detroit, then why aren't you representing, like we all represent Occupy Detroit? When we go someplace else, we represent Occupy Detroit. Why is it, under my impression is that in a leaderless movement, we all represent this. And as such, we don't necessarily need approval from the GA to represent this because we do. And my clarifying question is, does anybody has any points of information to that? Is there something already in the system that we've approved through the GA that says otherwise?
Okay, we're at time right now, and I think we should do a temperature check for, I'm going to say, I think we should do a temperature check for should this be something that's tabled and kind of like reworked on the wording so that, it seems like we have so many clarifying questions that maybe if we worked on the wording a bit and you brought it back, maybe this Saturday, that it could be something that we could build consensus around. So can we do a temperature check for that?
Can you restate the proposal?
Yeah, yes.
Thank you.
Is that okay?
Sure. We're at
is that okay?
time.
Can we?
You can restate.
Yeah, can I restate? Is that okay? Can you restate the proposal at least? Can we?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I propose that the decisions of the GA be binding upon the work groups and all other individuals and groups while working in their capacity as part of Occupy Detroit.
Okay, so can we do a temperature check for?
Can we extend time? I don't know how to request to extend time. Is that okay?
All right. Sure. Do you have a suggestion? How many minutes? 3. Okay. Can we see a temperature check for 3 more minutes on this proposal? And I'm looking for hands up, and I saw it, I saw it, a block that came up for a second and then went down. Okay, so I definitely see some of the hands down, but I did see consensus for 3 more minutes. So time.
So points of information first?
Yes.
All right, my point of information is, it goes to all the questions about people who want to be able to represent Occupy Detroit. There is a person who went to Starbucks and represented themselves as Occupy Detroit, and then they started to destroy the place. Okay, so this is why this kind of proposal is necessary. This is just one little example. You cannot just have, and leaderless doesn't mean every single person is the leader or every single person represents the movement. That is not what it means.
Okay. Are there any other points of information?
You know, and I guess when I'm talking about soliciting, maybe I'm concerned with soliciting funds or volunteers, things like that is, I guess, was my primary concern here, where we're going out and asking for things from people as though it's on behalf of the GA, and maybe it's not, and that's the concern.
Okay. Do we have any other points of information?
Points of information?
Well, so I'm fine with whatever, but my understanding is that no one represents Occupy Detroit in the movement. Like, we are all the movement, and I think this has been said. No one should be standing up and being like, well, I'd just like to let you know what the movement thinks. Because no one should be speaking for the movement. So I'm just putting that out there.
Point of information. Another small group joined just tonight to address this very issue. So I'd like to coordinate you with them, and that proposal would like to be proposed next GA.
My only concern is what's going to happen between now and then.
Yep.
I have concerns about what's going to happen between now and then.
Yeah, and I think this seems to be how I understood this to work already. If you were going to use the Occupy Detroit name for anything, you actually needed to get the approval from the GA. I mean, for example, when we made the T-shirts, even though it was my own money, I came through the GA to see if is it okay that I buy T-shirts and try and sell them on behalf of the movement, because it was my understanding I needed GA approval to officially work on behalf of Occupy Detroit. I wear my shirt wherever the hell I want because I'm from Occupy Detroit. I made the shirt with GA's approval.
Isn't that established? Yeah.
Any other points of information?
I agree with that. I think that this is something that we've already been abiding by for a long time. And just to add to the information that there have been proposals in the past that we all agreed on as a GA that if we were going to align ourselves or something with an organization or do something on behalf of an organization, which I feel like I'm hearing that this proposal is getting at, we agreed that that has to go through the GA as well. So if I can add a little bit of a clarifying question, I'm hearing you also say that you're concerned about what's going to happen between now and Saturday, and maybe if there's something specific that you're referring to that you can give us some more detail.
And we're at time. So just to remind everyone, we do have 10 more minutes for set out for all of our proposals today. And I think just a norm that has been set in past GAs when we do have this much kind of, I would say, like tons of clarifying questions and a lot of points, is that that's usually a sign that something needs to be tabled and reworked in some way.
The tabling process comes in when you ask for a temperature check of consensus and there's less than a 70-30 in favor of moving forward. Then it is automatically tabled.
Okay, let's do that then. Let's move to a temperature check. And Curtis, how did you phrase that?
All right, so can we take a temperature check for moving forward with consensus? And visually that looks like less than a 70-30, which means the proposal gets tabled and it can be brought back at any future GA.
Sure. Great. Let's move forward with the process.
Hi, I've never done this. I don't have it written out too well. It kind of came to me at the last minute. People in Lansing are having the gathering of the tribes. There was one in Flint a couple weeks ago, and there's one in Lansing this Saturday at noon. at Reeders Park, I don't know how to pronounce it. So we're all invited there. I would like to, if you want to go, arrange some sort of carpool. There'll be people from Lansing and Flint and us hopefully there. It's like a regional meeting. In addition to that,